One of my favorite family traditions was gathering around the table with my family on Christmas morning and digging into a warm plate of cinnamon rolls. I'm Danielle Walker from Against All Grain, and I am here to show you today that having a special diet doesn't mean you have to forsake your holiday traditions. So I'm starting with some almond flour as an alternative to wheat flour. So we need 3 3/4 cups of almond flour. And make sure to use the really finely ground kind. That'll give you the best texture and your best results. And then we have some coconut flour. Coconut flour is extremely absorbent, so you don't need too much, but it gives your baked goods kind of that cakey texture that conventional baked goods have. So for this, we need 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons. For a little bit of a crunch and some pliability, we have arrowroot powder. I need a tablespoon of baking powder. Try to find one that's grain-free. Typically they have cornstarch in them, so you can find one that has potato starch, or you can make it yourself at home and keep it completely starch-free. We're just going to turn our mixer on and get all of those flours combined. Okay, next we have a little bit of coconut sugar for some sweetness. 3 tablespoons of water, just a half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, that's going to help the dough rise. Then we have 3 eggs. Now, if you have an egg allergy, I've actually given you an egg-free version in my book as well, so make sure to look up that version of the dough. And just a little bit of palm shortening. You could use butter too if you'd like, but using palm shortening helps keep this dairy-free. Okay, we'll turn our mixer back on and get this all combined. So I'm just going to stop, scrape down the sides, and then also make sure that everything is incorporated from the very bottom of the bowl. Perfect. So our dough has come together, and then we can get started with our filling. For our filling, I have melted ghee, some honey, a little bit of coconut sugar. I like to use coconut sugar in place of a brown sugar, and then a lot of cinnamon. It's gonna look a little bit dry at first, but as the sugars start to melt into that ghee, you'll get more of a spreadable filling. So grain-free dough is a little bit more sticky than your conventional dough, so I have 2 pieces of parchment paper cut into rectangular pieces. This will just help your rolling pin not stick to your dough as much. Gather all of this dough into a tight ball and turn it right out onto the parchment. Just place the second piece right over top. Push it down just a little bit with your hands. So I'm just going to roll this out into an oval shape. Because this dough doesn't rise or rest like your traditional cinnamon roll, you want to keep the dough a little bit on the thicker side to keep the cinnamon rolls big and chunky and doughy in the middle. Perfect. And I'll give that filling another quick stir. You just want to spread this all over the dough. Just leave a small border around the edge so it doesn't completely ooze out. To paint that cinnamon sugar filling all over. So of course, if you want to get creative here, you could add in some pecans, you could put some raisins in if you'd like. Really, whatever your tradition is. I just like it really simple. Okay, so the trick for rolling this up is let the parchment paper help you. So I'm going to put the short side near me, and I'll just start with this side, and then every time you do another roll, you just kind of peel the parchment back and let it help you continue to roll it up into a cylinder. You can also kind of stop and smooth it with your hands if you need to as well. Flip that, finish that last edge. Just kind of seal it. And then I also like to gather the parchment and just with my hands form it into more of a log shape. My favorite part is slicing these and then getting to see that cinnamon swirl in the center. I have my pie dish ready to go. I've cut a circular piece of parchment paper and just fitted it towards the bottom. That'll just help these from sticking. So if your cinnamon rolls have gotten a little bit more oval shaped as you cut them, no problem. Just go ahead and kind of reform them into a circle with your hands. And then we'll just nestle them all in together so that they can bake up. That center one is always the best one. I'm gonna make that one the centerpiece of my pie plate. It's the prettiest. So I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees and I'm going to go bake these before getting my frosting. I just pulled my frosting out of the fridge. It's been setting for about 6 hours, so I made it yesterday, and my cinnamon rolls have cooled for about 20 minutes. This is my favorite new recipe from Celebrations. It is the quintessential condiment for sweets. Sometimes I mix it into coffee, we put it on cinnamon rolls, I frost cakes with it. You really can do whatever you want with it. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a whip to get it back up nice and fluffy. And try not to make too much of a mess. So we've got our beautiful baked cinnamon rolls, and I'm just going to frost these before serving up. Now really, it's up to you how much or how little frosting you like. So you can actually bake the cinnamon rolls the day before as well if you'd like, and just reheat them slightly before frosting them on Christmas morning. I'm just gonna cut myself one of these if you don't mind. How can you resist the smells of cinnamon and sugar? They're ooey and gooey inside. From my kitchen to yours this holiday season, I hope that you can make these cinnamon rolls and reintroduce some of those special holiday traditions that you may have been missing out on. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the thumbs up. Also leave a comment below and tell me what other recipes from Celebrations you'd like to see me make. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Merry Christmas, everybody!